Hey everyone, and welcome back to another explainer. I am so incredibly excited to dive into today's topic because honestly, we're looking at something totally monumental. We're going to explore the sheer scale, the history, and the massive impact of India's river engineering. I mean, when you think about infrastructure that literally shapes the earth and sustains millions of lives, you absolutely have to look at India's really complex, fascinating relationship with its rivers. 4,300. Just let that staggeringly huge number sink in for a second. That is roughly the number of large dams that have already been built across India. We aren't just talking about a couple of isolated, one-off projects here. We're talking about a massive, heavily interconnected effort to manage water resources across an entire subcontinent. The stakes of what we're talking about today are, well, they're as massive as the concrete walls themselves.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with India's vast river geography, then check out some record-breaking Indian dams. After that, we'll hit the essential uses of dams, map out the major dam network, and finally wrap up with the reservoirs storing India's water.
Let's dive right in. Section 1, India's vast river geography. Look, you simply can't build thousands of massive water management projects without a landscape that naturally supports it, right? India is famously a land of rivers, and its potential for dam construction is driven directly by this totally unique geography. Up in the north, you've got the towering Himalayan mountains acting as this icy, perennial source for massive river systems. Then, as you move down into middle India, the whole landscape shifts into these really vast, elevated plateaus. And finally, tracing the ocean boundaries down in the southern peninsula, you hit the rugged terrains of the western and eastern Ghats. It's this incredible geographical diversity that creates just immense natural potential to capture and use water. Moving on to Section 2, Record-Breaking Indian Dams. Now, this timeline right here brilliantly illustrates the sheer span of history we're dealing with. Water engineering in India isn't some new modern phenomenon. It's a very ancient mastery. You can see the journey kicking off roughly 2,000 years ago with the Kallanai Dam, then leaping way forward to the massive post-independence achievement of the Hirakud Dam in 1953, and right up to 2006 with the first phase of an absolute behemoth, the Tehri Dam. So let's start with the absolute oldest. The Kallanai Dam, sitting right in the Thanjavur district of Tamil Nadu, holds the title of the oldest dam in India. It was built between 100 BC and 100 AD by Karkala Cholan of the Chola dynasty, directly across the mighty Kaveri River. But here's the truly mind-blowing part. This ancient testament to engineering isn't just some tourist ruin. It's actually still actively operated by the government of Tamil Nadu today. How cool is that? Okay, fast forward to the modern era, and we are reaching dizzying new heights. Literally. At 260.5 meters tall, the Tehri Dam on the Bhagirathi River in Uttarakhand is the highest dam in all of India. To put that massive vertical scale into perspective, it's the 12th tallest dam in the entire world. It stretches 575 meters across, and the first phase of this towering giant was completed back in 2006. So from the highest, let's jump over to the longest. If you were to literally just walk the entire length of the Hirakud Dam, you'd be trekking an exhausting 25.79 kilometers. Built across the Mahanadi River over in the Sambalpur district of Odisha and completed in 1953, this composite dam really anchors our understanding of just how sprawling and ambitious these structural footprints can actually be. Which naturally brings us to a really, really important question. With all this massive undertaking in engineering, time, and money, why build 4,300 of these things in the first place? It's time to shift our focus from what these dams are to exactly why they matter so much to a growing nation. Section 3, Essential Uses of Dams. You see, these structures are way more than just huge concrete walls blocking water. They're the active, beating hearts of infrastructure. Just one single dam can provide drinking water for huge city populations. They supply critical water for agricultural irrigation and thirsty industries. They are literal powerhouses generating clean hydroelectric energy. Plus, they regulate waterways to allow for river navigation, which, fun fact, happens to be the absolute cheapest form of transportation. They provide local livelihoods through fishing and boating. And crucially, they control the erratic flow of rivers, acting as the frontline defense against massive floods. All right, Section 4, the major dam network. Knowing how vital they are, let's check out some of the real heavy hitters up in the northern and central states. You can clearly see how incredibly spread out this network is. You've got the famous Bhakra Nangal Dam on the Sutlej River right at the Himachal Pradesh and Punjab border. Up in Jammu and Kashmir, there's the Bagliharv Dam on the Chenab. Down in the central region, you hit the Rihan Dam in Uttar Pradesh, the Gandhi Sagar Dam harnessing the Chambal River in Madhya Pradesh, and the highly crucial Koyna Dam over in Maharashtra. It is just this vast, intricately planned web of resource management. Now let's move southward and see how this network builds out. The southern states rely just as heavily on these structures to power their grids and hydrate their lands. You've got the Sri Salem Dam on the Krishna River in Andhra Pradesh. In Karnataka, the Tungabhadra Dam utilizes the river of the exact same name. Down in Kerala, the Idukki Dam tames the Periyar River, and in Tamil Nadu, the Metra Dam stands strong on the Kaveri River. Literally everywhere you look, the landscape is dotted with these vital engineering marvels. And finally, Section 5, Reservoirs Storing India's Water. Just so we're all entirely on the same page here, let's quickly define what we're talking about. A reservoir is a natural or artificial lake created by using a dam to store fresh water. Think of it as the ultimate bank account of the water world. All that securely stored water can then be smartly distributed for all those essential uses we talked about earlier for that specific surrounding area. And India has created some truly spectacular ones. Up in Himachal Pradesh, the Gobind Sagar Reservoir holds back the Sutlej. In Madhya Pradesh, you have the Tawa Reservoir. Telangana gets its water from the Sri Ram Sagar on the mighty Godavari River. And down south, the Stanley Reservoir in Tamil Nadu captures the Kaveri, while the Hemavati Reservoir in Karnataka taps right into the Hemavati River. Each state has essentially sculpted massive lakes into existence to ensure their own survival and growth. But the really crucial point here is capacity. To truly understand the scale of what we're dealing with, let's bring it all back to the Hirakud Dam. The reservoir capacity sitting directly behind that single dam is nearly 4.78 million acre-feet of water. I mean, that is an almost unfathomable volume of fresh water that's being actively managed to keep society thriving. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. We know there are already roughly 4,300 of these massive dams shaping the flow of India's ancient rivers, holding back millions upon millions of acre-feet of water. But with several massive new projects currently in the pipeline, how will the next generation of these engineering marvels redefine the nation's water security for the centuries to come? It's a wildly fascinating question, and it really shows just how dynamic this whole topic is. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible network today. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.